Welcome once again. It's a blessing to be here on another Sunday night spotlight. As is obvious, we are coming to the close of another year, 2025. From where I sit, from my perspective, 2025 has been a tumultuous year for the general society, the world at large, upheavals left, right, and center. We have seen turmoils and unpredictability all over the world. America is no exception. I want to also point out that we have seen our fair share of upheavals in Jamaica via Melissa, Category 5 hurricane that decimated a large portion of Jamaica. I must also say that the recovery efforts has brought about a kind of community camaraderie amongst Jamaicans at home, in the diaspora, and the wider expanse of the world. Jamaicans from all over the world chip in to support Jamaicans. And that to me is one of the highlights of this year, 2025. We're coming to a fast close of 2025. And I have lost a few friends, close friends, if you will. I don't know what the new year will bring, or how many will make it to the new year. But one thing I do know is that we are living in a time like never before. The young generation might not have seen our time. We have seen our time and their time, and so we can make an assessment on, as it relates to the nature of the two times. This time is a most tumultuous time in the human race. All over the world, we have seen many different incidents, good and bad, and it's in that context, therefore, we must assess the world and where it is at. Technology is moving at breakneck speed, and we see levels of the society where success is in abundance, and we see also where the lack of success for people at the bottom has seen precipitous low. Nevertheless, as we move into the close of this year, I have experienced a kind of unexplainable experiences sometimes in this world. We have seen the society has gotten colder on some front. We have seen the society has gotten more disjointed on some other front. We have seen some projections for the future not looking bright. We have seen some projections that maybe suggest that something bright is on the horizon. Nevertheless, we're living in a world in a very untried time. And it is against that background. Something has dawned upon my mind, a song by Bob Marley, the legendary Jamaican reggae singer Bob Marley. And one of these particular songs that keep playing over in my mind and eventually forced me to do some serious introspection on this song as it relates to the human construct, our mindset, and how we perceive life, how we engage it. What are the intricacies that drive us in the direction that we end up sometimes. And it is against this background I'm putting into perspective a song by Bob Marley, PIMPERS Paradise. The beat of this song is very infectious. The arrangement, I think, was done with much passion and deep feeling. But most importantly, the verbiage connected to this song, the words and the music, they blend and send a message, if you will. And it is that I will take a brief look on this song, an exposition, if you may, of this song, PIMPERS Paradise. And so as we approach the end of another year, 2025, it prompts a moment of reflection filled with both exhaustion and relief at its conclusion. And so it is in this regard my mind is turned to the song PIMPERS Paradise. Because the song portrays scenes of illusion and misplaced priority amid an hectic pursuit of happiness. And when one think about the song and you do a deep introspection, one can almost feel the song speaking to human existence in this day and age. It's philosophically, the song dismantled hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure as the highest good. The era of OnlyFans bear evidence for us to see where young women are toys of wealthy men. For an existentialist perspective, this lifestyle represents inauthenticity. In other words, it represents a false observation or a false understanding of what the world really is. And so it encourages us to live in bad faith, denying one's freedom by chasing external validation, instead of confronting the hard knocks of external existence. What this really is saying, that sometimes illusion and fantasy appears or captures our mindset as it relates to what really is reality. And the song, A Pimper's Paradise, speaks to that directly. One of the most telling lines of this song: every need got an ego to feed. I believe this, as it is the recurring theme, speaks to the illusion and the fantasy that as human we get ourselves into, trying to capture a feeling that can only be described as a feeling. And so in this recurring line is the song's philosophical core. Every need got an ego to feed. Here, Bob Marley declares some desires or need are really not innate, but constructed to sustain a false ego, the false self-craving validation, the constructed desire for hedonism. And that's what has captured the world as we try to grasp that fleeting illusion of happiness. Hedonism, sex sells, pleasure at any price. That's where we are in this world, and this song really speaks to that eloquently. And so in that context, we see willpower misused. Applying in the song, a woman exerts power through seduction and manipulation, pimping men for their resources. The result is self-undermining, and it obviously leads to narcissism and isolation. You see, what it leads to is after each session of hedonism and ecstasy, you then come back to reality, because ecstasy only lasts for a fleeting moment, and the high that you get only lasts for a short period of time. And so the ego's endless hunger ensures no lasting fulfillment. And so reducing her, as the song puts it, that's all she was. That's all she was. A pimper's paradise. It speaks to the emotion in a kind of open and frank way. It speaks to the power of a woman's sexuality. It speaks to the depraved sense of a man's hedonistic desire. When these are combined together, we get a dynamic that only fills fleeting happiness. It's fueled the fleeting attitude, the fleeting desire for happiness, which only lasts for a temporary period of time. It's a pimper's paradise symbolizes a false world of prosperity built on exploitation. And if we want to put it in another context, it says, as the rich get richer and the underprivileged get exploited, it is not a place of blessing, it is a moral illusion. A moral illusion. This song really paints a picture of how depraved as humans we can be, and the things that we pursue that are fleeting and temporary. Others really interpret this song, put some different interpretations to this song, and they see a woman as an allegory for Babylon itself, as a beautiful, seductive whore. And this echoes a particular verse in the Bible, found in Revelation chapter 17 and 18. And this picture here is painted of Babylon the Great, a woman sitting on a scarlet-colored beast. And the Bible declares that I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet-colored beast with a cup full of her indignation, full of fornication. This woman is also called a whore. You see, that this whore that the Bible describes pimps humanity's labor and soul for fleeting gains. Her lifestyle exploit others while enslaving herself. And this is where we find young women are entrapped and enslaved by sexual enslavement, and their modesty is invaded. They're in a desire to get means through the most powerful tool that a woman possesses, and that's her sexuality. I want to believe that this is one of the most emotionally charged, philosophically transcending songs that Bob Marley has produced. You see, the song emphasized a fluid power dynamics. The pimp and the one is in control. The woman, on the other hand, advances her sexual power and mesmerizes her victims. And this guarantees her, the woman, a survival, and the pimp profit for his investment. A pimper's paradise. I am one of those who believe that while Bob Marley was never a man articulate or educated, he really was a man inspired by God. He was a man specifically inspired in his own way to impact the world. And this is one of the songs, I believe, that has done so, at least from where I sit. Because the verbiage of this song speaks eloquently to the kind of world that we're living in. One that see hedonism as boundaryless. There's no bound within which people would not go. We see men marrying animals, women entertaining themselves with animals. We see those kind of hedonism being played out in the society on a grand scale before our eyes. We see a kind of world that is uncompromising when it comes to push the boundaries. See, Pimpers Paradise candidly announced Marley's prophetic warning. He advocates spirituality over material paradise and warns us not to overindulge in ego-driven heights. Ecclesiastes follows up with this warning. It says, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. In essence, what this song is saying that worldly pursuits through hedonism is futile without divine grounding. Ultimately, the song is a call to resist ego's feed, but aim towards a higher truth, lest one face certain head bow in defeat. It is in this context I want us to look at this song. Whether you be religious or non-religious, this song paints a picture of the society that we're living in, an uncompromising hedonistic society. And so the song, aptly named the Pimpers Paradise, gives a picture of when we feed our ego, it grows to become an uncontrollable monster within the human construct. You see, in a modern context, the song Pimpers Paradise resonates with critics of the consumer culture, social media narcissism, and the wellness industry's false premises. The lyrics of this song is constantly reminding us that no external paradise satisfies the soul's deeper need for meaning and connection. I want to point this out once again. The lyrics of this song is constantly reminding us that no external paradise satisfies the soul's deeper need for meaning and connection. In other words, we have to look deep within the consciousness of our moral understanding. What is important? What is vital? How can I be a better person? You see, hedonism is one of the weakest, most debilitating drive that is found or uncontrolled element of the human construct. It is the reason why we find so many different people doing so many different things. It is one of the reasons why we see sex is bartered sometimes cheaply, and sometimes it's bartered at a grand price. It is a tool that is used to take down mighty men, powerful men. David comes to mind. The hedonistic culture, when fed, can grow like a monster within us, and thus make us a pimper's paradise. In closing, I want to remind us that in this uncontrolled, ever-evolving world, we must be mindful that the external element, the fleeting moment of happiness that we so dearly and eagerly search, cannot come through exploitation of our basest tendencies. You see, one of the things that we don't understand is that hedonism is rampant in our world. Hedonism is rampant in our world. Bob Marley also wrote a lyrics in one of his songs that he says, "If night could turn today, a lot of people would run away." And so, from where I sit, this song, Pimper's Paradise, speaks eloquently to the world that we are living in. You see, let's not forget that every aspect of life, every aspect of Bradley life, every aspect of life is temporary and fleeting. Every aspect of life is temporary and fleeting. Happiness is fleeting. Hedonism is fleeting. The feeding of one's ego is fleeting. In fact, when you remove fleeting in this regard, we are made to understand that it's temporary. Vanity of vanity, says King Solomon. I want to wish you all a happy, happy New Year. Blessings to every family. For those who have been kind enough to view my Sunday night spotlight recordings and podcasting, I want to wish you all a happy New Year when it comes. And next year, we will try to make it a little more consistent as we relate to each other in this small forum. God bless and have a happy, happy New Year and let it be in abundance of happiness, so we can all, at least for a while, have some happiness and enough so we can share with others. God bless. See you next time.